Good evening, everybody. This is Bulldozer Investing. Today is February 24th. It is 4:09 p.m. Before we begin our analysis, I'd like to remind everybody that we take requests from Twitter. Our Twitter account is bulldozer_INVST. I do daily tweets, so please go ahead and check out my Twitter account to be able to request our ticker symbol, basically for the daily analysis. Here's our Twitter channel, bulldozer_INVST, and then look at my pinned tweet for that day, and you can go ahead and request any ticker you like for that daily review. And then also you may visit our channel here on YouTube to see the video
Good evening,
description,
everybody.
so that you can go ahead and look at the description, click show more, and see these time bookmarks, so you can click on any of these time marks to be able to jump back and forth between any of your interest of ticker. That being said, I like to conclude that anything we say here in the video or our entire channel is educational purposes only, and it is not a financial advisement. So let's go ahead and start with VIX. I'm going to go ahead and type VIX here. Why don't we make the screen bigger? I'll go ahead and detach this, and there you go. All right, VIX again is beaten down. It wasn't able to go in the cloud, which is kind of bullish for the market. It did lose the trend line that we drew. It looks like it also lost the 90 moving average, so it may revisit the 20s. So far, VIX looks like it's beaten down. This could have been a bear flag. Let's see if the 20s hold, okay? Next up here on our list is SPY. SPY is going on a bullish reversal, as we have mentioned before. We were expecting it to go down to 381 and then a bounce. It closed above the 90 moving average, and I did say that if you're looking for a bounce, the 50% extension should be your target, which is 393.36. That's where we need to watch out for the next downtrend, but we haven't reached that target yet. This candle right here is sitting at 32.944 or 392.44. So that's going to be our first resistance. Let's see if we can break that. Looks like after hours it moved up a little more. It's sitting at 392.09. So we'll see if we can go extend and even hit the 61.8, which is sitting at 396.46. Our ultimate goal is 406.48. And then I was marking this area, but our target has changed, so I'm pushing this to 422 for the ultimate bullish SPY call. Anywhere downtrend, we may revisit around 383. That's going to be your next support level. Next up is NASDAQ QQQ. I'm looking, it's lagging a little bit, but it did reach the 50% retracement, which we have called for, and it closed above. So your next level is 326 and 50 cents for the resistance. I do see the moving averages coming down, and MACD doesn't look so bullish, but stochastics look like it's reversing with the RSI. So to me, I think the 20-day moving average is going to be your next resistance at 328, but let's see how these extensions play out. Strong reversal off of the cloud top. Our ultimate goal for QQQ is 350, so let's see if we can get there. If this is basically a double bottom, I don't like the lower low, but we'll see if it, and then if it does come down off of the 50% Fibonacci retracement, your level to watch is going to be 317 to 318 areas for the confirmation for the bullish run. So if it bounces from here, we'll go all the way up to $350. Next up is Dow. So let's look at that, the diamond, we call it. All right, so the diamonds, as you can see, it mentions it here. Dow is actually, I was kind of iffy on this resistance. It broke well above it, so it looks very bullish at this point. And we all saw the airlines, the travel sector, some of the Dow names, even Disney and so forth. They're looking good, bullish on Dow. Let's see where it could possibly go and draw an extension. We'll take this low, this high, and then this low right here off of the cloud bounce. It did reach the 161.8 extension, to be exact. That's where it closed. So it might pull back. And where it could pull back is then I'm going to do a retracement from this low to this high right here. It could possibly pull back. Our previous extension is 100%, but the 50 extension is sitting at 309. I don't know if it's going to pull back that far because of the breakout of this inverse head and shoulder. I do feel like Dow can be going all the way up to 332 depending the continuation of the bullish run. But when you have a strong candle like this engulfing body, you're going to move up another, something like, I don't see an example here, but this isn't exactly an engulfing body, but you can move up another, percent or two the next couple trading days, and then let's see how far it goes. I'd say that the bottom of this candle will be your first support, which is sitting at 314. Next up is Russell. So IWM, let's check that out. It's definitely on a reversal bullish run. I told you guys that it was lagging and it's going to go at least 2%. It's going to see a 2% day because it was lagging. Same thing with QQQ. Nasdaq is going to have its reversal in next couple trading as SPY did and Dow did. So I'm looking for Russell to go on a, very high, like basically on a tremendous reversal. 231 should be your first goal, but I think my target here is the 240s. I'm bullish on Russell and the chart looks beautiful. I like this channel that we drew and it's behaving perfectly according to the waves within the channel. So even hitting 234 should be possible in next couple trading days. Next up is Apple. Let's take a look at what's going on with Apple. I think long dated calls, even the leaps are fine with Apple. MACD is still not ready, and stochastics is looking nice for a reversal. If you see this trend line right here, if it breaks, so let's go ahead and draw a trend line on the stochastics itself. So you can actually draw trend lines on the lower studies. So you see this trend line, if it breaks, that would be beautiful. And RSI is sitting extremely low levels, so this is really nice for a reversal play. I see Apple going to 130, the first stop, and then let's see if it can break this downtrend line, which is basically a wedge. I'm not sure if this wedge is going to play entirely all the way to the lows 110, so that's a question we have to ask ourselves if it's going to break. Here, I'll zoom in to show you what I mean, and take a picture really quick. Take a picture of this wedge. So here we are. We're definitely moving up to 130, but if we can contain within the cloud and this 100% fib extension, or are we going to hit this upper channel and then visit back the 50 and the 61.8 retracement? That's a question to be asked. If that's the case, then it's going to go back up to test the cloud bottom. But if we contain to go over and contain that level of 100% Fibonacci retracement here at 130s, I think your next level is going to come up and it's super bullish. I believe that Apple and all the Nasdaqs are beaten down so much that they're going to have their reversal, but they're big boys. They do take their time, unless there's like some, super bullish news and it goes up, but it'll take some time to recover, but 130 on its way. Next up is ALYI. So this is an interesting ticker. One of the followers had told me that it's a spec play, so he thinks that it's a pump and dump scheme. So I have no clue about what this ticker is or what they do actually. I can't even zoom in for some reason. So it was asked to me to look for the technical view. It does look, it does look like it's going through waves. I could draw a channel here. It's containing above the channel. It managed to, and what I could tell you is that the next move up could be tremendous towards the 28 cents, but it's a penny stock. MACD doesn't look good. Stochastics needs time. RSI is maintaining its levels. I'd say this would take at least 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 weeks in order for the internals to show us a better picture. If it does go up, I can tell you where the extension levels are, considering that yesterday's is the lows. It's gonna go up between 14 cents to 16 cents, so that would be your first target. Your ultimate target should be 32 cents if it does bounce there. But remember that this is a spec play, and the person who requested it did admit that it's a pump and dump scheme. So this is not, I'm not, advising you to try your luck or gamble on this. He just asked me what the levels could be. So my first levels is 14 cents to 16 cents. If it breaks above, you're looking at 32 cents on the long-term side. Next up is Amazon. So I actually haven't seen Amazon chart for some time. So I'm actually wondering how it looks like now. Well, yeah, remember what I've been telling you, that a lot of people had asked me during the earnings, and I kept telling that the 61.8 is a big resistance. It did try to break above, and then it couldn't contain. So that's what I meant with the Apple review, that it needs to contain a level of extension, and if it doesn't, look for the downside. And that's what exactly happened, and it touched our golden box here, which was a buy signal. Now it's trying its luck, it's trying its opportunity to get above this lower level channel that we drew, which is also coinciding with the cloud bottom. If it does break out, your next resistance is going to be 32.67, and ultimately this resistance right here, we've seen it so many times here, 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 and here, which is at 33.42. I'm expecting the stock to go at least that level, 33.42, and if it does break, and if it does maintain, your long-term target should be the 3500s. Let me speak the downside. So I haven't spoken about the downside, is that the issue, this is 61.8 on the downtrend extension is a very strong support. So look for the 3077 to be your support. If it breaks that, then you're going to look for somewhere around here, this low candle right here, low of this candle, which is sitting at 29.55. That would be your bearish scenario. But I think the chart is trying to be bullish here. I know the moving averages are looking bearish, and the stochastics is curling up, so that's a good sign, but RSI and MACD is not following up with it. So let's see what happens. You want to first contain through 3158, this level right here. So it needs to stay above, and then hopefully to break the cloud, break above the cloud. There's also this extension line right here, so it could very well hit the 32.19 level, but my long term, so I'm not looking for a weekly or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think within a month it should try to break 32.67 and then go towards 33.42, which should be your goal for 1 or 2 months. Next up is BGI. So let's take a look at BGI. Well, again, I don't know what the company does, but we can quickly go ahead and check out what it is and what it does. Let me pull out my window here, BGI. Burks Group. It is a retailer of luxury jewelry stores. The company operates primarily in Florida. So it's an American business, and it's based off of, it operates in America and Canada. I mean, I don't mind Canadian stocks, and they do business in America, so that's pretty good. The moving average of the 90 moving average is curling down. However, the 20 looks like it's a support. MACD looks bearish at this moment. Stochastics and RSI as well. Let's see some retracement levels on the downside. So it's sitting right at the 61.8 extension. If it holds, I can tell you where it can go. So it all depends on if that level holds or not. But considering that yesterday's lows is the ultimate low, and it's a reversal from there, let's zoom in to see if I did this extension correctly. What is the low here at 117? So yeah, that's pretty good. 170, that's pretty good. So you're looking at $3.17 on your bullish target, but it needs to contain the 61.8, which is at 189. If it breaks below 189, then it can fall tremendously towards the 145 level, $1.45. So you need to watch the chart, because all the lower studies, basically your internal indicators, are telling me that it's bearish, but it managed to stay close to the 20-day moving average and the support of 61.8 extension, which is sitting at 189. Next up is BORR. Drilling Limited. I don't know if this is an energy sector play, but the chart looks damn bullish to me. It looks nice if you want to play long. It is trying to push inside the cloud. Your next, if you're really bullish on this, and I don't see the reason why, it could go head up to $4.65 on the weekly Ichimoku resistance. That's where it's sitting at. But you have to break in the cloud, so you have to maintain above $1.32. Let's look at the daily. I'm not sure if this is a recent stock, so I haven't gotten too much history on the weekly. Let's look at the 5-year chart. So yeah, it seems like it's a new company, And with the energy stocks traveling, oil, pumping up and being bullish, I think it's going to go ahead and affect this as well. Let's go ahead and do an extension really quickly. So let's do this. Where's the low here? Yeah. As you can see, it hit the 100% extension, then came back to get a support at the 50%, which is also sitting at the 20-day moving average, and it closed above the 61.8. Your first target should be $1.58 and then $2.10. On the very long side, as we mentioned, it should see like $4 something, so 430s. If this trend of all the energy stocks, not clean energy, but basically all the oil, gas, drilling, and all that, all the companies, and it seems like it is flagging here. So as long as it breaks above the cloud, then it's going to be bullish. Make sure that you close above the next day, above the 9-day moving average, which is sitting at, let's take a look, around $1.33. Okay. CCIV, an interesting name. It has been beaten down the last couple of days. I don't know what the news were about the merger or something. I know the Lucid EV car. Now the EVs had reversed. Tesla had nice institutional buying going on. I know Kathy's probably buying the heck out of it, and a lot of people are looking for that reversal. So as long as the trend in Tesla and other EV sector is going good, I don't see why not in the long term. But again, all our indicators at the bottom, MACD, stochastics, RSI is ultra bearish. Looking at the moving day averages, not in a bear, they're containing their positions, so they're not really curling down. But I'd say that the most bearish scenario should be this line right here. So that is sitting around $25.55, which is also the bottom of this candle right here. That would be your bearish scenario, and then look for the 50-day moving average, which is sitting around 22. So 22 and 25 should be your bearish scenario. Now, what is the bullish scenario in this case? I like that 161.8 extension is coinciding with the 9-day moving average. So if it does go up, it should see $46 or maybe even fill this gap right here around $50. Specs, I'm not an expert of, and I'm not very good at how they fundamentally work. So I'm not going to give any fundamental reasoning behind this or any of the merger news because I have no clue. I don't follow up the news with, the Lucid merging. What is the valuation of Lucid? One interesting thing that I did see is that I visited the Tyson's Corner Mall around Virginia, near DC area. So what I did see is a big store with a cover of Lucid, and it seems like they're opening a store in Tyson's Corner, which is one of a prestige mall in Virginia. A lot of people are visiting, and they did have a Tesla store, so that's an interesting story. Let's see how the Lucid valuations go at this point. Again, I won't be a great help regarding the fundamental part of it because I'm covering 30 tickets, 30 tickers, 30 symbols a day, so it's almost impossible for me to study them before doing these charts. But again, your bearish scenario 25 to 22, your bullish scenario is 46 to 50. Okay. Next up is Disney. Of course, Dow moving. Disney, I think, is within the Dow. I did tell you guys a couple weeks ago that I don't know about the earning, but I like the stock's fundamentals of not the fundamentals, but what I meant it was the internals. So stochastics, MACD, RSI still going bullish. It looks like it closed below the opening price, but it did hit the 200 mark level, and that was our first goal, 201. So it kind of reached our goal. I want to see if it can break and maybe go up to this upper trend channel, which is sitting at 206. But I don't like the possible upside is basically done. When we were recommending the stock and telling you guys that it's a bullish stock, it was sitting around 170, 180, so it was a good buying opportunity. And I did say, I did tell you guys that before the earnings or at earnings, if it touches 50%, just watch out for that. So what happened is it hit our golden box and then came back, got a confirmation from this pitchfork, and then just exploded the last couple of days because of the sector rotation, driving away from NASDAQ and going towards Dow stocks. Now, one thing that is unique with Disney is that, yes, it is a Dow, but it is in the tech sector with its Disney Plus, and I think everything is going the right way with Disney Plus at this moment. I know the theaters, movies are not open, but then again, they can accumulate money by doing their Disney Premium and people paying 20, 25 bucks to view them early, or their Disney subscription. They're working with Verizon to get bundle packages and discounts. So I think it's working well on the technology side as well. It's well-rounded stock. Your ultimate goal should be 226, but I'm wondering if it can go above the 61.8. So at this point, I'm neutral on the name because the internals are very strong. It's above, it's all of its moving day averages, as we mentioned. It's a really, really nice stock at this point. I can do another extension going from here, this top and this low. So it is basically coinciding exactly nearby our older extension, which has a longer term of time range. But what I could say is that we could touch this box and make it bigger. So that should give you the idea. So somewhere around 202 should be our goal, I would say, but it doesn't have much upside left. So the risk factor might be a little, more of the pullback. So I would watch for a pullback anywhere in the 9-day moving average, which is sitting at 189, or the 20-day, which is going to be around 190s, 187, 190. So if it pulls back and gets a confirmation off of the pitchfork, then you have a wide range of upside, which would be much healthier. But the stock is definitely a buy in terms of the internal indicators. Next up is FSLY. Let's take a look at FSLY. Again, this stock has been beaten down. It's sitting at oversold territory. I love how the stochastics are near the near-term merge to be a bullish, indicator. And then MACD has still some time, so I'd say wait for bottoming. Because if it loses the 76.33 level, it could very well drop down to 50. So we don't know. We don't know it's too much downside risk at this point. I rather wait on this one and make sure that this 161.8 extension to the downside has a established flooring. Then you're going to look at the upside of $86 and $92. So my view hasn't changed on this stock since yesterday or the day before that I reviewed it. I like to see a rounding bottom, or at least some type of inverse head and shoulder establishment. I'll take a picture of what I'm looking for in order to get in this stock. So if you go like this, and then go like this, and then just maintain this trading range and form a rounding bottom, and then break above this, then it'll be a buy, maybe towards here, or maybe towards the cloud bottom. But at this point, I don't know if it's going to do that, and I need 3 weeks to get in, or decide to get in or not. At this point, it's too early for me to call anything on this stock yet. Next up is FUBO. As you guys know, I'm in FUBO. I bought more today, around 200 shares, just trying to accumulate. I love the stochastics merging up to the bullish crossover. RSI is still not ready yet. MACD still not ready yet. I give this stock a time, but the issue is the earnings date on March. They did push it, but they gave early news on that subscription numbers are going up, and they do have investor conferences right after the earnings and abroad as well. They're going to Germany as well, so they're working international. As far as the technicals go on the chart, it was a great bounce from the 61.8 extension. Again, even though I have the stock, you guys know that I'm fair and I don't act emotional when I tell you targets, because when we were sitting up here and I said if we can't close above the 9-day moving average, look for 42, worst case 38, and the crash happened and pushed us all the way back to 32 levels. So now we recovered. Strong candles here, strong body. It looks like a dragonfly. I think that's what they called it. I'm not good with candle names. I don't really keep them. But what's happening here is that I see that it could push up to 42.7, the high 42, so basically 42.78. Now the real big question is, as you can see this line, this cloud bottom and this cloud top right here is going to be your resistance. So let me go ahead and take a picture of it. So what's happening here is that you have a huge resistance right here. It was the previous support. Now it's going to be resistance. So yes, it's going to push up here and it's going to test this trend line. Now if it breaks above, it's definitely going to pull back and then enjoy its time before the earnings. I don't see this going too high before the earnings. And to be honest with you, I don't want it to go that high before the earnings, because people are going to take profit and sell and they're not going to risk it. But if the stock is going to rest around here and form a, some type of a bottoming, and people might say, what the hell, the downside risk is this much, the upside risk is this much, so I'm going 50-50, let me go in. But if the stock moves to here before the earnings, they're not going to risk it and start selling half their position, and that's what I don't like about stocks moving up before the earnings. However, it's still a cup and handle formation. It looks like it broke that, but it's trying to get back in this channel. The longer the wedge, the better, the higher the pull up. My ultimate goal on this one is $76 first, and then by the end of year, maybe around 108. You guys can call me crazy or whatever you like. I don't care. But you see the stock moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The stock moved from $27 to $62 in 5 days. And then you see here $26 to $40. That's nearly 85-90% in 3 days. And then the stock moved from here $30 to $57 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So that's again nearly 80% level. And then looking at here after the earnings, look at 1439 to 1995. That's nearly again 50% in 1 day. So this stock can be crazy volatile, and the bid and ask prices are gappy. So there's some like 20-30 cents gap sometimes. You have to watch for that. The stock is sitting at 39.99 after hours. Okay. So, and for you guys, and you know that I'm pretty open on things, I showed you guys that I was pretty busted on, I was doing very well the first 3 months on the Journey account. Remember, this is a Journey account, so it's not my actual account. What had happened on the account was that we pretty much, so I've started, I don't know, I started somewhere around here, right? So I didn't use the account. I was probably playing options and I lost like what, $800, and then came out, and then I started right around here. So around October, that's when I started it. As you can see, this flat line, basically no activity in the account. What happened was I started the account, and we went from, originally I put $10,000, but then I kept averaging down. This was the Palantir fall, and then this was the Palantir up. So as you can see, yes, we go down, but when we go up, we go crazy because I do take a lot of risks, and as you can see, finally I I did use margin on FUBO, so we kind of got crushed there, and account deficit is taken care of finally. But this is what happened: 17,000 to 33,000 something, right? So that's about 110% at that point. Actually, it doesn't really tell you, but you guys can see my videos, even though it says 81%. Originally, we weren't $17,000. We were about like 15,000, 14,000, and the account moved to like 32. I don't know what it was. Because I lost that, I'm still negative on FUBO. It doesn't show like correct percentages, but we were up 110% on 3 months, at 3 months. So October to mid-January or end of January, we were up 110. But I like to show you the losing side of it, because I took a lot of risks, but I warned people, do not follow me. I'm going to take some risks. I might just blow up the account or just go to 100K. So I risked it and I failed it. And it did give me an opportunity, actually. I went up to like 28K at one point. It doesn't show perfectly, but if you look here, I think this was like, what is it, 27? It doesn't show it properly, but I know I know that I've seen 28K somewhere, right? So right now we're definitely losing. We're getting crushed. I'm pretty open about it because this is a Journey account. I don't really care what happens to it, if I blow up the entire account or not. But my target again on FUBO is $76, and I believe that the account is going to go nearly 50K in 2 months or something. As you can see, I'm pretty chilled because I was chilled here. We went from 25K, and I remember hitting we were at 25, or I don't know what it was, but I think it was $22,000 at one point, because I added money, so it doesn't really show properly. I was at $22,000 at one point here, and then we went down to $9,000. And then from 9,000, I went up to 32. So here, yes, 33 something, and then now we're at 15, but I'm chilled. I think it's going to go up to 50K soon, so I wanted to update you guys on my portfolio, and wanted you to understand that I show the winning side, I show my right predictions, but then I show you the losing side and where I failed. Okay, that's what I wanted to update people on that. Next up is LABU, but it's an ETF. I believe it's is it an ETF as I remember it? It's a health stock, like biotech ETF. It's beaten down and it bounced off of the cloud. This is a bullish sign. I know the MACD is not ready, but if you want to enter early for the stochastics merging and RSI kind of bottoming out, you can start collecting. It does have time, and it does have a resistance sitting right here, the 50-day moving average around 128 if I'm correct. Let's see, 128.21. I like the possibility of the reversal here, and this is what I like to do. I like to take the risk on a reversal, and it's giving me that opportunity with this ETF, and definitely moving somewhere around the 9-day. So 50%. This is amazing how the technicals work out, guys. I don't just make up these things, right? I draw it in front of your eyes. What's happening here is that the 50% Fibonacci is sitting at 9-day moving average, and then the 20-day is sitting right on the 61.8 extension. So these are strong possibilities. You're looking for 136 to 144 in the short term bounce. Now it might come there and then hit back and get a confirmation, and then again the rounding bottom formation until it blows out. I think your target should be 211 in the long term. It's of course an ETF, and it doesn't move as fast as, the small biotech companies that move up 20-30% a day. So if you're patient with this, I think it could go very well to 211, but then watch out for this because it's a strong confirmation to me that if it does, and this is a resistance. So first level is 128, 128.27. That's your 50-day moving average. So you have a lot of moving day average resistance here, and then a 9-day and 20, which is coinciding exactly perfectly spot on with 50 and 61.8 extensions, which are going to be our major resistance. If it hits, it's going to come back to the cloud and then go long for the long term. Next up is MVIS. I think I reviewed this recently. Microvision. I don't like, but see, the thing is the MACD can reverse back, so it's not as it's not that bad. I wouldn't say it's like, okay, we still have the green bars on the MACD. Stochastics does look bearish. RSI is picking up, so it's like the internals are giving me mixed signals here, but a perfect bounce on the 20 and then the resistance at 9. So I think you want to stay neutral at this point and see how it reacts. I can draw a trend line here, okay, and then right here. Okay, this could be a long wedge and it could rest at $12. We don't know, right? Because the next, if it doesn't break out, that's the issue. And it could have a false breakout and then come back and get a support at 20. So let's take a picture and show you the possibility of what the stock can do and cannot do, or cannot do. So right here is a critical point and a critical resistance. Okay. Now, and as you can see this candle here, it needs to gap up and start. Your next resistance level is going to be right here, so it could move up. If it gaps up, it's going to move up here. But the issue is, if it doesn't, and this 161.8 extension doesn't hold, you're looking down at the 20-day moving average or somewhere around 100% extension. And then it could blow out, or it could just keep on going, and then bottom out and go. So we don't know the possibility. I don't know if the company is waiting on news or something. That's an issue. I don't have too much knowledge of the company. Just looking at the chart and giving you guys a target is very difficult at times. But the 9-day has definitely been a very precise resistance right here. It touched it and it just died. Some people use 10 days, but I usually do 9-day, and it's basically a little more, to the point, in all honesty. And it acted this way. And you guys just have a heart attack when I say it could go down to 13-12 area, but you see this extension is showing me that level. So no doubt about it. Maybe I can fix it a little bit, zooming in. I can fix it a little bit, but it's not going to make any difference. So you're looking at the 20-day you're looking at the 20-day moving average support, looking at the 9-day average resistance, and we're stuck in between. You just better wish that the 61.8 extension holds, which it basically closed above. It's a good sign. So this is also another possibility. I'm going to give you that scenario and move on to the next ticker. Go like this, and then go up. Okay, so that's all in possibility: down and up, hold and up, or gap above this 9-day and go up and challenge this resistance right here. Okay, so that is basically around 21.6 level. Okay, next up is NGA. I again don't have any knowledge about the company. Northern Genesis acquisition. It looks bearish. I'm sorry to say this, because I'm looking at the moving day averages. I'm looking at the internals. Yes, it's oversold, but it's not reversing from oversold. It lost the cloud. Where it could go, let's take a look at some. I'm going to try two different extensions. So this is one, and this is another one. So yeah, it lost even the 61 on the long term, 61.8, and it's acting as a resistance. I don't want to give downside target because I don't know how much it could go down, but looking at the chart, I am seeing that this top right here and this bottom right here. So basically, let me just do this. This top right here and the bottom of these candles could be your next support, which is sitting at 1730. But again, it's an acquisition group, it's a SPAC. I don't know what the merger news are, but the chart does not look bullish to me. Okay. I'm sorry to say this, but I cannot be emotional when I do technical charting. Technical is technical. There's no any feelings within it. It doesn't contain any feelings. So don't try to tell me you don't know anything, blah, blah, blah. I searched this company. I did my due diligence. Yes, that's one thing, but the channel is about reading technicals. It's not about fundamental analysis. There are so many other videos about fundamentally searching the companies, and there are a lot of good YouTubers about that. But this channel is not the right place to check fundamentals on because I'm covering 30 tickers, and I have to just some of the charts. Basically, only thing I do is I see it for the first time like this chart. Okay, so no hard feelings, guys, but I gotta tell you, and I might be protecting you by telling you the downside to it. So that's all it is. Okay. Next up is NNDM. Again, I think like this is I covered NNDM for the whole past week. Very bullish sign that it closed above the 50-day moving average, and I told you guys this yesterday's video. I said it better go above the 9-day moving or the 50-day moving average. The way I see this is it's definitely going to touch 9-day, and it should. I don't see the reason why not to, and that level is 1365. If it gets there, then you might take some profits because the 9-day moving average, as we've seen on the other tickers that I've showed you previously, acts as a resistance. So, and if you do want to check out this, you could see this bottom, this top right here, and then this bottom right here. Yep, you're looking at maybe the 20-day, which is sitting at 1468. I would say I'm going to draw a box here. I'm going to join the 9-day and the 50% Fibonacci retracement and say that would be our target. Okay. Again, no hard feelings. Sometimes, I can't read the chart because I keep telling you I need a floor establishment, something like this, double bottom, and then it breaks above the extension. This is where you buy. Okay. But if I don't have a double bottom or a rounding bottom, I can't really tell you that, okay, the stock is ready yet. And you guys know me that I was the one who kept telling it's bullish, bullish, bouncing off the 20, bouncing off the 20. This thing is going to fly to 15. I was dead on right. So I'm not emotionally tied to the stock, and I've been covering this stock for a while now, and I know how it behaves. But this bottom, and if this is a bottom, is going to be a higher low. And if that happens, you're looking at $26. That's definitely would be my long-term target, but we have to know if this bounce from the 966, which was very technical and which was really, really comforting if you're in the stock. I told you guys that it looks bearish, it looks bearish. I've told you all of that. If you check my videos, I kept telling you it could go to 12s, it could go to 10s, and then now that it bounced off the 50% extension, I can give you possible reversal targets. Okay, so that's NNDM. Next up on our list is OPTN, Opinors Inc. So let's take a look at what the company does, because I mean, I'm kind of like blindsided when it comes to tickers that I have no clue what they do. Before I judge, maybe they're in a sector that's, bullish. Pharmaceutical company focuses on commercializing products for patients treated by ear, nose, so ENT. I know it very well because my son keep on getting ear infections and so forth. We got tonsils and adenoid surgery for him. Now we're going to get tubes in his ears. So I pretty much know all about ENT and allergies too. So he's been on and off with allergy medicine. So there's nobody, I'd probably consider myself as an ENT specialist at this point. Health is the most important thing in the world. I'm laughing. So he's a healthy boy. He's a big boy. He's only 6. I'm 6 foot and he's all the way above my chest now. He's, tall guy. 93 pounds. He could be a nice linebacker. Whoever sees my son, even the doctors, they're like, he's the next Ray Lewis. I mean, I'm not African American, but the toughness. He's so big. If he punches you, he definitely bruises you. And he was playing with a couple of my friends, and I told him, don't box with him. He's not a kid. He's a kid. He's 6 years old. But if he punches, you're gonna get bruised. And they all had little circle bruises on their arms, and a couple of them got air taken out of their so they kind of got they lost air out, and they were kind of like breathless for a couple seconds because they don't expect the power off of him. Just looking at him, we were just buying him 14-year-old clothing. So he's a huge guy. I don't know how much he's gonna grow. He's eating like a sumo wrestler. I don't know. He's a big guy, tall and big, muscular too. So I'm hoping that Baltimore Ravens, I'm a fan. I'm hoping that I'm raising the next Ray Lewis and we win the third Super Bowl. Having that aside, a little side story from me. Um, so here, obviously, I don't know what these studies are. Based off of Pennsylvania, I just said Ravens. Now we got our rivalry Steelers. Oh well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give all the negative things about this stock as much as I can, right? Joking. You know me, right? I don't do feelings, any hard feelings on any stocks. We just do technicals. Yeah, it's trying to hold this level. So you see the bottom of this candle, which is basically sitting at 393. It needs to break above the cloud. Stochastics, MACD, RSI is neutral as long as you break this level. So some stocks, it's better not to get in weight. It's better to stay out in weight. So this level right here, so $4.85 or 87, whatever, like a couple changes, right? It needs to break above. I wouldn't touch this because the downside would be $3. So you're looking at 30% move or maybe more to the downside, the risk factor. If it goes up, it's going to try to retest the 485. So you're looking at 85 cents above, or I don't know, what is it, like 70 cents above. So it's not worth the risk to stay in and wait, but it's definitely worth to wait and see if it can break above this level. This is in trading range right here. So this range right here is a trading range. And when you want to stay bullish is when you break off of that range, because when you break down, you're going to see the next trading range. Okay, so you're going to basically trade within this range, this yellow box range. Okay, when you break out, that's a bullish sign. You get in and you sell here. That's it. So again, no hard feelings. I got to be very technical, no emotions tied. I got to tell you what I see. I might be wrong, but always get a second opinion, just like you visit a doctor. Now, one thing I do like about the company is that it's establishing a rounding bottom, as we see. But the issue is if it breaks down, then that's bad. Now, if it breaks out of here, okay, you're going to see this level, which is $7. And then it might do a cup and handle, go back and visit the $5 range and do a cup and handle on the long-term side. But again, I'd rather wait and sit out and see what happens. If it happens to break out, look for a confirmation, second confirmation, and get it. But long-term side should be $7. That's if it maintains above the cloud and breaks above this resistance. Okay, so that's OPTN for you. Next up is PFE. I believe this is Pfizer. I shouldn't say that because I know it is, but I hate being wrong on obvious things. It makes people look stupid. There's a trading range, right? We talk about Pfizer. It's a nice dividend company, and a lot of males are appreciating the Viagra, finding of the company. Um, and a little side note on Viagra is that they were trying to treat people on a heart medication, and they gave this 70-year-old man, or I don't know what the age was, but the guy was pretty old enough not to, probably to have an erectile dysfunction at that point of his life stage, right? Um, and there is no age of erectile dysfunction. You could have an erectile dysfunction at 18 with bad psychology. You could be a perfectly healthy male at 60, 65, and you wouldn't need any enhancement. So it's all about genetics. It's all about how well you take care of yourself, eating. You know, if you smoke your lungs out, obviously it's going to affect your male health. Um, or sex life, whatever, right? So in this case, a little side note. So then the man gave the doctor a note and basically claimed that he's having major erections after taking the medication, and they're like, holy shit, this is an enhancer. So then the drug goes out, of course, it makes the company what it does right now. I mean, obviously they sell other drugs and they're popular with it, but that's, if you say Pfizer, the first thing the guys are gonna come out, they're gonna say Viagra. You see this top right here? You see, or let's not take that top. Actually, what I do want to do is, let me just, okay. this level needs to hold. If it could go down to 32, it could. Now I believe, I don't know if I call this right, but they were working on some type of vaccine for corona, if I'm remembering correctly, and that's why this was up. Or no, when was it? It was somewhere in summertime. Yeah, somewhere here. This push was the if I remember correctly, was it Pfizer? I don't know. I might be completely wrong. Who knows? Because I check out a lot of um, medical, pharmaceutical companies. I keep on mistaking them. This is a long wedge. So this wedge right here is a falling wedge. Again, this stock it's not volatile, but at the same time, it's a very slow moving stock because of its, it's known as being a dividend stock. Now, if you break out of this wedge, first thing you're going to hit is basically right here at $36. So that the downside here is 32, upside is 36. The moving day averages, stochastics, RSI is way oversold. So let's see what happens when the RSI is at these levels. You're going to look for a break above the 9-day moving average. So we're not doing that yet. Now, is it the right time to get in? It might be if your stop is at 32.82. Okay. This is also another floor to check out. What am I doing? There you go. I want this one right here. So this right here is a nice floor. So you see this cloud bottom, and then it bottomed out here and then made the next run. So this could be a possible floor, and it could weigh in and say, okay, I'm going to take my risk to the upside of $36. Even this right here could be 36.31, 36.07. That should be your target. Now, if you go ahead and do this, this is your first leg. And let's say that this would be the bottom, right? You're looking at the cloud top area, which is sitting around $38 to $39 range. Okay, there you go. By the way, I'm getting a lot of text messages, so let's end the Pfizer. So this is Pfizer. Your first level is going to be 36, and then 38 and 39 are your next level. So the 100% is going to be your previous high, of course, but we need to bounce from this floor right here. If it doesn't, it's going to fall down to 32.79s, 32.80s. Okay. So I'm not going to do technical analysis, but a bunch of my friends are calling me and texting me, so my phone is just on a bombardment. It first rang, you guys probably heard of it, and then I put it on silent, and now I'm getting like a bunch of text messages here and there. So what I'm going to say is I'm just reading the text messages. People are texting me because of GME. Now, one stupid thing I did is I bought AMC at like 8.50 or something, and I sold it at 9. It went down a little. I saw AMC. Let's take a look at AMC. I'm not going to put AMC because I'm not doing a technical analysis, but at one point I saw AMC going nuts. Yeah, wow, it hit. Guys, am I perfect or not? Somebody asked me AMC the other day, and I said it's 161.8 extension, $11. It hit $11, and then bam. Look at this technical, guys. I mean, I totally forgot about AMC till today. I don't know what the heck that squeeze was about. I don't know if, and look at it, 200. Holy crap. Now it's trading at 157, but oh my God. GameStop, holy crap. I just went back to listen to my video the other day about GameStop. I said, look for 150s. It's sitting at 150 right now. I don't know what is 120 or 150. I said something like that because I was like, at the time that they asked, the stock was sitting here. I was like, the most it could go, maybe it'll hit the cloud bottom right here, which is sitting at 150s. And look at it now. I mean, I don't know if it's my luck because I don't know crap, guys. I honestly just take a wild guess. Please don't try to be me or try to think that I'm a god or something because I'm not. I'm stupid as heck. Just call it. But look at this. 150, and listen to my GameStop video 2 videos ago. I did say that it's very hard to call because I'm not seeing the moving average price over moving averages. The MACD wasn't ready back then, and the stochastics, I was like, yeah, the stochastics is curling, but I don't see any action or volume yet. But the volume was drying up, so that indicates that it could be a possible good gamble here at this point. And I said the upside would be the bottom of this cloud at 150, and bam, Basically what it did was it filled this gap right here, this huge gap right here, and it hit 200. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm shocked. Holy moly. And it's probably going to shoot up all the other short squeeze plays. FUBO, no wonder why FUBO was like 40 something after hours. So let me go back to FUBO again. I'm sorry, I kind of divided up, but I got to see this action. That's why FUBO was freaking 40.68. And I'm expecting a huge, huge upside in these stocks that were heavily shorted. Wow. Look how perfect this guess was. And then look how the 50% was acting as a support on the minute chart, of course. But holy crap. Sorry for the language, but I can't hide my, shock here. Wow. Wow. I mean, this seeing GameStop at 200. Wow. What the heck? Look at Sundial going nuts. 400 million. I bet you Sundial had basically a blowout right on that after hours. Yeah. Then closed around like what? Like $1.38. Bam, 20 cents. Yeah, you guys are gonna see a tremendous squeeze on these short plays then. Holy crap. Palantir, freaking Palantir. I bought Palantir today too. Not a lot, $10,000. Not a lot. But shit, I bought it at 26.50. As soon as I bought it, that thing crashed. What the I mean, it's just my luck. Everybody always says they must be watching me buying things. I feel the same way. As soon as I, buy something, it just dies. So anyhow, let's go back. Let's get back to our topic. Let's go to PHIO, which is another pharmaceuticals. Nice bounce off of the 50-day moving average. I'm expecting the stock to be a bullish reversal at this point. Let's draw an extension from this bottom, this top, and perfectly bounce off of the 50. You're looking at 382 to $4 bounce. Your 20-day and 50-day is a resistance at this point. So looking at 343 and 364 are going to be a resistance. Downside protection is, of course, you don't have much. I mean, you're sitting at 328. Most you're looking at a 25 cent move to the downside, but I do think that it has more possibility. So if the bets against it, I mean to bet on the stock, losing side is limited. I think the winning side is more on this one. So what I mean by that is that if you're looking for betting, right? I mean, I don't usually bet or anything. I don't bet at all, but let's say that you're gambling, right? You're looking at the odds of losing versus odds of winning. How much can you lose and how much can you win? Your losing stakes are going to be at this top of the cloud, worst case bottom, but the winning seems huge. So you decide, but technically speaking, I think the odds are favoring the risk factor are favoring the upside play. But then looking at this stock, I don't know if I was asked this before, but I don't like to see reversals here. So this would be basically a swing play, spec play or something. But it's very speculative when you see a stock that had splitted 1 to 55, basically trying to survive to be listed. Um, seeing that, I kind of changed my mind now. But well, you decide. Again, when I see these charts, I kind of go, but you're looking at basically $4 area on the upside. Okay. All right. Next up is Raven. I call it Raven. RAVN. It is Raven. Okay. I surely didn't know. I just took a wild guess. Because again, I just mentioned living in Maryland, Baltimore Ravens fan. Inverse head and shoulder breakout. Look for a 9-day moving average support at 39.56. Let's figure out the upside to this. I like this double bottom action. You're looking at 44.82, your next level, and then ultimate goal should be 52. That's way above. I see it's a dividend company. It's constantly delivering. It's a solid company. And I love when I said inverse head and shoulder, I'll tell you what I saw basically. Just looking at this, right? You have oh, messed up. Sorry about that. you're looking at inverse head and shoulder here. The neckline is breakout. Bam. Got retested near the 20, came back up. It might test this 100% fib again and then move to the 161.8. So which is 44.82 should be your goal at this point. Okay. Next up is snow. Oh, I thought I typed snow. Why didn't it go in? All right, lost the trend, the downtrend. I know I was bullish on this, but it didn't deliver. I was saying, you know, the up and down, but it kind of did that head and shoulder and kind of broke out. The market kind of caused it to crash down too, but you see this head and the shoulder and the neckline kind of broke off. Now it's coming. Your next level up is going to be this level. Okay, so let's see what it does. Possible bounce back towards 295. If it goes above all the moving day averages, it's going to test 330. But the downside, and I always keep saying I don't like the rounding tops. You see this rounding top, so it needs to break above that. Okay, and this should be your, sorry for the cricket line, but you know what I mean. Like this line right here should be your support, which did act today. I'm looking at the cloud bottom area. Okay, that should be your first target, which is sitting at 292. Sol. Is this Resola? Yeah, Renasola. Yeah, sorry for the perfect cloud bounce. All the moving day averages are bearish. MACD is almost crossing. Stochastics is reversing. RSI is reversing. I'm expecting a reversal play in this name. Okay, that didn't play out obviously, but your resistance is gonna be obviously. Let's delete this. I like to work with a perfect flat line right here. You see this cloud top and the previous resistance. First move up is going to be 1835. This is also another resistance, so the two candles right here, and then the cloud near the cloud bottom. So your first resistance is going to be the 1880s, and then $25 area is going to be your next target. I don't see much downside from here besides, well, actually it is. Because it's sitting at $16. The 100%, or not 100%, sorry, the 100-day moving average is sitting at 1126. That should be your downside. Let's take a look at a retracement. Yep. So it did lose 61.8 retracement, and you're seeing that it's trying to get there. It has a lot of resistance. First of all, the 61.8, 1674. Then you have the moving day averages and the bottom of these two candles, which is sitting at $19. My goal basically is if it passes, if it breaks above the 61.8 is $19. Okay. I can't speak much yet because I don't see a rounding bottom. I don't see any confirmation of reversal yet. Besides the MACD is trying to work around. So when the MACD crosses and the stochastics crosses, then look for a reversal. I want to see this action. Okay. And then a breakout. And then that should be your and then this should be your target, okay, which is around $19 as I said, or actually that was 2038. Okay. All right, next up is Square, and I warned people who are invested in Square that it's heavily invested in Bitcoin, and the thing about it is, from what I heard, you can buy Bitcoin from Square app, I think. That's what I remember. If I'm mistaken, I might be wrong. But I like the cloud bottom confirmation, and it's sitting above the 50-day moving average. Yes, the moving day averages are bearish. Yes, the MACD is bearish. Stochastics bearish. RSI is bearish. It needs to hold this cloud top. It needs to hold this level, which is 229. If it doesn't, then it's going to come down more. Sorry to say this, but you can see how spot on we were with Square. People kept asking me where we're going, and we were right here. And when I gave target of 61.8, target, which is sitting at 241, and your ultimate goal 278, people were laughing. Again, I always get laughed at first, but whoever laughs the last laughs the best. That's a Turkish saying that I've learned from my parents, or from my culture, I would say. So that's what it was. It went down, yeah, but then bam, look at this top, guys. Look at this top. So bulldozer investing, guessing the tops, getting lucky. Okay. Now I'd say that it needs to hold this bottom. I can't give you a bottom, but well, worst comes to worst, you can go back and revisit 206. So this level is also your next support level. Again, the thing with me is that I work things very late. I say something and then it just like people might think like this guy is bullshit, and then next thing you know, after a couple of weeks or a month or so, it touches where I tell you. So a lot of people didn't believe me when it was 219. A lot of people didn't believe me that it was going to go to 283 because when I said it, it's like bam, 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 bam. It's like they waited for me to say something. It's like they sold it. They're like, let's make this guy, let's make his credibility die, and then bam. That's what it is. But Square is heavily now directed with Bitcoin price action. You're looking at 230 as a floor establishment. If it doesn't work, you're looking at the 100 moving day average or the previous, the bottoms around 209, 210 area. Because it's hard to guess again. I don't like guessing the fall. Like when something falls very strong like this, and the moving day averages curl and MACD stochastics and RSI looks bearish, it's very hard for me to say anything at this point, unless I look at the hourly or something. I'd say your upside is 255. Basically the 100% fib. It's hard to guess. You see how this 50-day moving 50% Fibonacci level is acting as a support. If you lose it, you're gonna see 230. And then if you lose that, you're gonna see right here at 209. I don't know how the Bitcoin is gonna react. I don't know how the market is gonna react. ARK-F was basically negative today. Last time I checked. We'll have to see how it works, but you want to look for this cloud top, which is sitting at 209, or I'm sorry, 230. So 230 has to hold. And then your reversal, I can tell you what your reversal is. So let me delete this. I know, I don't care. I guessed it right. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm great. I don't care, right? I always delete things. I'm not going to like take a pride of what I guessed right. It's only a technical guess. Anybody who has some technical knowledge, minimum technical knowledge as I do, can guess what or do what I do and even better. If this is the bottom and it happens to have a cloud bounce, look for 272, which is near the 90-day moving average, but your ultimate goal is 368 on this. Again, laugh at me, think I'm crazy, and the stock might fall down a little more, maybe to 210s, and then they'll be like, this guy's BS, and then bam. Next thing you know, in a couple of months, this thing is 368, okay? Next up is SU. SU, I don't know what this company does, Suncor Energy. Now, it's, again, obviously the energy sector I mentioned before is moving up and they're bullish, and all the, clean energy sector is going down with all the EVs. So it broke out of this previous top. I love the rounding bottom, double bottom confirmation off of the cloud top. So if you'd ask me 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, I would have told you if this cloud top holds, buy it, and it moved as soon as it moves above the moving day average. That's, look at stochastics, look at RSI rising. That's where you buy. Okay. Let's take a look and see extensions where it could extend. Now the thing that I'm scared of is that these things have been bullish for some time and QQQ hasn't picked up. What will happen is that they'll get sold off, the energy sectors will get sold off, and then next thing you know, NASDAQ will move. So you have to have a nice entry point. At this point, and as you can see, I didn't make up crap. Like I haven't even charted this before, right? So what I did is I connected 2-3 dots together randomly without any technical knowledge, and then bam, there you go. 161.8, bam, 2182. It hit and it went down. I'm sorry to say, but it's like you're pushing your luck if you buy from here. I know it's a good, flag and then break above, nice volume, and it could go to $25, but I like to hold and let it flag. I want a discount on this. Even though the stock looks super bullish, I have to have a discount in order for me to get in. Because when I see this kind of rejection, I'm kind of scared that it might revisit back to 1978. I mean, not the year, but the price. If you guys haven't seen on Hulu, what was that show? The day, it's basically, if you know the day of JFK's assassination date, that's the show's name, the title. something 1969. I forgot. I don't know what it was, but it's a nice show. Everybody should watch it. It's very nice. How did I forget it? When I spoke a day, I don't know how I remember these things. I don't know how my mind works. But what you want to do is you don't want to buy at top here. You want to buy at the bottom here. So confirmation on the previous top, or maybe the 100% fib level, which is sitting at 1978. I'm not saying that it doesn't have a chance of breaking above this channel and going to 25. $25 should be your ultimate goal. But then again, I don't know if the energy sector, the travel sector, is going to be sold off to go back to QQQs. So we don't know that. But I love so this is what I mean. This is the timing, right? You guys either show me stocks that are dying and has no absolute confirmation, or you're telling me stocks that are like flying and then like, where could we go? Double bottom, rounding bottom, a breakout, and cloud confirmation here. That's where you buy. Bam. Again, the same thing. Rounding bottom, you draw a downtrend line. As soon as it crosses above the 9-day, bam. Previous top tested, and then it went down again. Here, the previous top broke off. Now, the width of this trading range will be the top of the next trading range. So let's go ahead and calculate what that range was. I'm just going to do a small square. I'm not going to do mathematics, right? This was the trading range. Now the next trading range is going to be right here. So you're pretty much close to the top of the trading range, and then it could come down to like 1978. That's where you want to buy the bottom. Again, it's all a possibility. I'm just doing some guesswork, but looking at the chart. I could only do technicals. Okay. Next up is TNSP. I heard this name before. I'm not sure if I charted it. Or I'm sorry, TSNP. Sorry about that. I haven't charted it. I like the pennant formation, but then again, it's a strong, like, it's like do or die type of situation. Like, you lose it, you're going to pay heavy debt on it. A lot of people love to play these types of things, but the issue here is that the MACD, stochastics, RSI, moving day averages are cooling down. It's like you're going to see a short-term bounce. I can tell you the extensions though, like where you want to go is your upside is going to be $1.52. It's a cheap stock, Tessera Enterprises. Why? I'm familiar with this name. I've heard of this name. But anyhow, what's going to happen is that you cannot lose this level right here. Okay. You see this top, you see this bottom. That's going to be your strong support at 73 cents. If things go loose, you're going to visit 73 cents. And 9-day moving average sitting very close to your current price is going to be your resistance. Lots and lots of people love to play these reversals. I don't. I'm not a big fan because all the other indicators are bearish. You could play this double bottom formation kind of and just say that, okay, I'm going to sell when it hits the cloud top, which is at $1.20. I think that's a better play. Like, if I don't know the fundamentals of the company, again, I don't know any of the fundamentals of any of the companies that I review because these are technical reviews. But I'm assuming that you guys are searching and looking for the, doing your own due diligence. $1.18 should be your first goal, and then $1.24. That's what I'd go for. Okay. Next up is XXII. Now, 22nd Century Group. Chart looks good, actually. I love the 20-day moving average support. Your resistance is going to be right here, sitting at 425. If things go loose, though, you got to watch out. There's a nice recovery today, but you have to break above this. I can draw an extension again here. We can do an extension. It's not a perfect one, but you can take a couple cents off lower or higher. That's fine, just a ballpark estimate. So my estimate of resistance is kind of meeting up with what the 50% fib is saying. 419 and 440 should be your range. 9-day moving average was a strong resistance at this point, so watch out for that. Your first support is going to be right here. Okay, so you need to hold this line of 380. If not, then you're looking for the 20-day moving average recheck again. But I like the price action has been pretty bullish, and I like the buy volume, so the volume is drawing for the next run up. If you're long term on this, again, 22nd Century, is this like a media company? Sorry for my I sometimes I'm really bad at remembering things. No, it's a biotechnology company. Okay, I've totally missed that one. Smoking cessation. Well, how do I know smoking cessation? It's not because I'm on one, but I work for the Department of Health and Human Services, Center for Medicaid and Medicare, government project, and the things we do cover the smoking cessation coverage on the Medicare Medicaid. So that's how I know the program to it. Now, if they're government supported, if they get funded by the government or they're doing government projects, that's great. But let's take a look here. I mean, people under depression, I guess they start smoking and then they're looking for a counseling or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a good time to invest in the business. But anyhow, I do think that if you're able to break above this strong resistance, so let me box it up and I'll delete the orange line really quick. So that's going to be your strong resistance points. If you break above it, then you're looking at 618. If you break down below this red line right here at 380s, you're going to revisit 338. So it's your call, but the chart doesn't look that bad, honestly. Like I've reviewed a lot of biotech charts. This chart looks nice. We could even do an extension from here and see how the long-term extension meets up with our short-term extensions. Yeah, pretty much that's going to be your second target. Okay. So there you go. Let me delete this bigger extension. You can even do another extension here. Look at this bounce. Sometimes these extensions are magical and mesmerizing. Look at this. 50% Fibonacci. Look where it bounced. Look where it bounced, guys. I drew this extension. Look where it bounced. And 449, why not? I mean, I can see this long-term extension is playing out really well. Okay. Again, take it or leave it type of scenario is that 419, 440, that should be your first level of resistance. 508, 618 are your next upper targets. I like to conclude with a side note. If you like the content, if you like the appreciation of all these detailed ticker viewings, technical analysis of all these tickers that you have been requesting, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure you grow the community. You can go ahead and recommend your friends our channel and they can watch and learn a couple things. Follow us on Twitter to make requests. Besides from that, let me do a conclusion on the market. I saw that majority of the traveling stocks, so let's go ahead and review them, right? So all the traveling stocks, even including Ford, some of the oil stocks here, look at the percentages, right? They gave away some at the end of the day, but they were up huge. Now, what has been losing is the coronavirus plays because okay, the economy is opening up, blah blah blah. But we have changed a couple things here right at the closing bell. The heavily shorted stocks, okay? You have Space, you have Big C, you have AMC, you have GME. All these stocks exploded. And I'm not surprised that Tilray went up a little bit. I'm not surprised that Sundial went up a little bit after hours. I'm talking about after hours because of the GameStop squeeze. So now the direction is going to change and they're going to focus on the heavily shorted stocks. I'm not surprised that FUBO has, went up. Look at FUBO. Guys, this is the thing. I'm not promoting. I'm not pumping my stock. I don't care if you... I mean, no offense. I don't know if you're a millionaire or not, but me pumping up FUBO has no intentions in this channel because it's an institutional thing, guys. This is 66% institutional owner. Who are we as retailers to raise the stock? People who thinks like, all these retailers are, it could happen if you have very low float of shares. But look at this, 66% institutional owning, about nearly 40% of it is short float. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Just giving you an education. This is just educational purpose, right? I'm not telling you to go buy FUBO. I'm just saying how these heavily shorted stocks can rise up with like in an instant. So watch this. You have 66.4% owner of institutional ownership, and then you have 11.5 insider ownership. So 77.9 of the stock is already owned, right? And then you have 38% short. So let's take a look here. 53.29 million is the shares of float. I'm not going to count the insiders. Maybe the outstanding shares they owe. Like, I don't know if the insiders, I don't have that knowledge of the stock. Like, I don't know how the stock market works in this case. If institutional ownership, is it within the shares of float, or is it within the outstanding shares? That I don't know, so I'm not going to include that percentage. Okay. So from 53 point, let's do it so that everybody can, 53 million, right? 290,000, sorry. So 53,290,000 shares. Then we have to figure out the institutional ownership. Oh, what the hell? I should go back to math class. I'm sorry about the retarded thing that I did right now. Instead of dividing, that's what I was thinking. I hit the multiplication symbol. I'm like, what the hell is... No, actually, no. I did hit the multiplication symbol, right? I missed the dot on the percentage. 35 million. So let's subtract that by 53, 290,000. There you go. So we have left over, give or take, 18 million. So I'm just going to use 18 million, or let's be correct. So let's just do 17,900,000 shares available. Then you have the available shares shorted times 0.38. The 6 million is already shorted. So actually, I don't know how that... I'm sorry, I feel like a retarded right now. The shares afloat, actually I should have done this. 53,290,000 times 0.382. So you have 20 million shorted. And then you have 35 million institutional ownership. So plus 35 million, let's say. I know there's some numbers to it, but you have 55. So I don't know what kind of screwed up math I did, but pretty much my point was that you have so much institutional ownership, but then from that, people are shorting what institutions are owning at a 40%. And when GameStop squeezes, when AMC squeezes, and when all these other squeezes happen, guess what's going to happen to FUBO? Now, last time, the issue was that, you see the squeeze play? The issue was that institutional ownership was very low at that point, like 20%. Now the institutional ownership is very high. And this happens before the earning. It's a good sign for old, FUBO owners, but at the same time, let's see how this continues tomorrow, this short squeezing game, okay? And from what I see, it's going to be nasty again. I could see GameStop reaching its all-time highs again. Let's see how that ends up, guys. And I'm really excited for tomorrow. All right, that is it. I hope you enjoy the content. Again, give us a sub, give us a thumbs up, recommend your friends, follow us on Twitter to request daily analysis. That's it. So have a nice day, have a safe day, have a healthy day, and we'll see you all tomorrow.